and welcome back to the channel. I hope you are all well, hope you are doing great, and thanks again for coming back for another video. I know they've been few and far between, but hopefully let's get these smashed out and starting to build more on this channel. If you are new around here and you do like what you see and what you hear, make sure you give us a subscribe, join the journey. Let's hopefully we can start building this channel going forward. Got a lot planned and hopefully that you all enjoy it. Any ideas that you want me to look at then as well, go in the comments. Always open to doing new things with people as well. If you want to get involved, emails down below on how you can contact me as well if you do want to collab or anything either. But let's get into the video. So this one's going to be a bit different this week. Obviously I know I'm normally Prem based, but already we've already got another international break. That's the second of the season now. There's another one in a few weeks as well. But I thought I'd make a best of a bad situation. So today I'm going to look at all the Premier League teams, but I'm going to see, with England being in action this week against, I think it's Italy and Australia in the friendly and then a qualifier for the Euros next year. I'm going to look at every Premier League team, and I've looked at each team who haven't got yet, who's uncapped, in their team. And we're going to see who I think is going to be next to earn a cap for England. Some of them are already in the squad, some are a bit left wing, and especially with England in the Euros, there's under 21s in the summer, there is quite a few in here. But without further ado, let's get into it. Arsenal, I've picked Eddie Nketiah. Pretty simple there. He was involved in the last England team, didn't get a look in, but you know, he's doing the 21 top goal scorer for England. Started the season quite well for Arsenal as well. Gone off the boil, but hasn't scored this since I think he got called up. So yeah, Gareth Southgate's seen more than we are, but yeah, he's been on England's radar, of course, being the under 21 top goal scorer of all time. So yeah, I think if you don't get a call up or a start or a cap this time round, it's not going to be long before Eddie Nketiah pulls on an England shirt, and probably is going to be a mainstay in that team going forward if he can continue and lead the line for Arsenal. Aston Villa, I've gone for Jacob Ramsey. I think probably the obvious option. I nearly did go for Ollie Watkins, but I actually forgot that Ollie Watkins played for England before. He's got 7 caps. He's even got 2 goals. I can't remember that happening, but you know, especially the outrage where he didn't call up to the squad prior, but you know, the form he's carried on. His performance against Brighton was excellent, so yeah, Southgate couldn't leave him out. So could be Ollie Watkins. So next best thing for Aston Villa, another gem they've probably got in their hands, is Jacob Ramsey, the first of, let's say, many people who is going to be involved in this list, who was part of that under 21s Euro winning squad in the summer. Unfortunately, injury curtailed that. He didn't make the final. I don't know if it was a semi-final he went off or the quarter, but he did miss the final. But in the tournament, he was excellent. He can play anywhere across the midfield. Obviously, Villa fans rate him quite highly, in the same bracket as Jack Grealish, I've seen some people say, or even better. So, unfortunately, he's injured at the moment, but hopefully when he comes back, I guess they're running that Villa team, you know, again, some people saying they are missing Ramsey in that team. So, his creativity for Ollie Watkins, you know, if Ramsey keeps to that, which I think he will, I think he'll be another one that we're going to see in an English shirt very soon. For Brentford, I have gone for Rico Henry, and I feel really sorry for Rico Henry. I do feel if I'd have made this list last international break, he would have been in the squad. But prior to his injury, I would have thought he would have been in that squad, you know, with Luke Shaw being injured and Ben Shaw being the only cover. But unfortunately, after that squad got announced, he didn't make the squad, and then a few weeks later, he did his cruciate, I think it was, against Newcastle. He's out for the season, and then, of course, when that happens, then Ben Shaw gets injured. England really not got any recognised left-backs in the squad. Rico Henry would have been perfect. He can play wing-back, he can play left-back, he's pacey. He's done really well for himself, building up coming from Walsall, then going to Brentford. He did have a big injury setback a few years ago, but then come back from that, so he'll probably come back stronger. I just don't think there's anyone else in that Brentford squad. I think Ben Mee now is too old. There's too many centre-backs ahead of him, especially when, you know, Harry Maguire's still getting picked, and Ben Mee's, well, was playing week in, week out. I think he's injured at the moment. You've got Lewis Dunk, you know, the mid-table centre-backs, which are probably ahead of him in the queue. So, yeah, it had to be Rico Henry, even though he's injured for the whole year. Do think if he comes back a bit stronger, if he can challenge that. But out of all the Brentford players, it had to be Rico Henry. But hopefully, regardless, he does come back and continue to be the good player that we all know he is. For Brighton, I have gone for Solly March. There was, again, a couple of players for Brighton. I mean, Lewis Dunk would have been the obvious one, but prior to the last international break, he did win a cap regardless, and then he got one against Scotland. So it didn't matter. I think Adam Webster's time has gone when you got Lewis Dunk getting called up. I couldn't see Gareth Southgate calling up 2 Brighton centre-halves, so I don't think Adam Webster will get one. And everyone else in that Brighton squad is I've had an England clap like Milner and Lallana. I'm Danny Welbeck, so solid march, but I don't think it's the worst option. I think he's been in great form since De Zerbi come in. He's coming on that left foot. He's creative. I can't remember how many goals it is he has been involved in. I think they said in a game not too long ago that he first 50 games for Brighton, or first 100. Not done the numbers, and then in the next 50 he's just absolutely smashed it. So yeah, and goal up Jared Bowen. If Solly March can continue that performance level for Brighton, especially in Europe, then again there's no reason why Solly March won't be an England player very soon. For Bournemouth, I have gone for Alex Scott. We've not seen Alex Scott yet for Bournemouth, which is a shame because there was a lot of hype around him when he, played for Bristol City last year, made their Championship Team of the Year. Hasn't been involved due to a knee injury. So there's not really a lot you can say on him, but everyone does think he's got a bright future. Represented England at under 19s level, under 20s. So yeah, not going to be long until we see Alex Scott again. I think once he comes back, shows what he can do, handles and adapts to the Prem, he'll be a mainstay in that England midfield for a long time to come. Burnley, I have gone for probably an obvious one, which is James Trafford. I think people think Burnley probably would have been a hard one to pick, but I do think probably one of the easier ones to pick out of all the players that I looked at, because his performance at the Euros, another one that has made the list, but he didn't concede a single goal, saved the last minute penalty for to win the tournament for England, and he came for a Man City. I think when you've got that on your CV, you probably do have an advantage to other people, and people might say, oh well, he started the season for Burnley, they're not on the best of form, he's picked the ball out of the net a fair few times, but no disrespect when I say this, but look at Jordan Pickford. Does the same. He's been in relegation battle for Everton for the last few years, and he's still England's number one. So yeah, I do think James Trafford will be probably pushing, or will be England's number one in the future. Chelsea, Levi Colwill. Again, there was quite a few for Chelsea. With Cole Palmer moving, he was one that I thought could be, but Levi Colwill got caught up in the last squad, didn't quite get involved and get a start, which was a surprise, especially when I think was it Gearhey who went off against Scotland and he didn't come on. He brought on Maguire instead, Gareth Southgate in a friendly, but it's one of them. But I do think Levi Cole, since his loan move from Chelsea to Huddersfield that season, when Huddersfield narrowly missed out to Forest in that playoff final, they went on loan on Brighton and smashed it there. It's coming with Pochettino. Pochettino obviously trusts him. He's played, I think he's played for every game for Chelsea, or near enough every game. Left foot centre half as well. Not a bit hard to come by. So yeah, Levi Colwill, if he doesn't get a game soon for England, it's not going to be long. Probably potentially if he continues this with that advantage of being a left foot centre half, I wouldn't be surprised if he does make that Euro squad next year if England do qualify, which we all think they probably will. Crystal Palace was probably the hardest one because they have got so many English players who have already made an appearance for England. So Tariq Mitchell, I could have gone for him, already has a cap. Gearhey already has a cap. Eze already has a cap. Even Dean Henderson, I was just going to pick him just because there wasn't many, but he already has a cap as well. So I had to go for one that people are going to think no chance, but I had to pick someone. It's Rob Holding. He's been at Arsenal for many years, never really had a sniff of an England call up, but strange things have happened. Gareth Southgate beat Eric Dyer for so many years, so who's not to say Rob Holding can get a game? Since he's had that hair, the long luscious locks, then maybe he could have a redemption out like his hair, but we all know where he's equally got that done. But yeah, I had to pick someone. Shout out to Jay Rakai Seiki, who come on the other week. He looked really good, but I think he can play for Holland as well. So there's going to be a few people who are going to be interested in him. So yeah, Rob Holding, probably not going to happen, but so I had to pick someone. Everton, I'm going to go for James Garner, who sorely missed at Forest. I wish that we would have signed him permanently, but hey ho. But yeah, it's good to see him doing well. Last few games, he's really been on fire for Everton. Hasn't dropped less than a 7 on who scored with his performances. Got his goal in the league against Bournemouth in that 3-0 win. He's quite versatile as well. He's played right back for England, right back for Everton, right mid for Everton, and playing in the centre. He's good at set pieces, someone obviously I've watched quite a lot. And I think, as I said with James Trafford a moment ago, when you've come through at Man United on your CV, you probably have got an advantage, so it won't be long again until I see James Garner pulling on an England shirt. Fulham, I have gone for Jay Stansfield. So maybe people might not have heard of him. He's got it's a terrific story. It's a very heartwarming story. So He was the son of Exeter City striker called Adam Stansfield, who sadly passed away. Exeter retired his number 9 until last season when Jay went on loan to them. He wore the number 9 and did very well. He got 16 goals involvements for Exeter last year. He's come back to Fulham this season. They've loaned him out against the Championship, see how he's done. He's now loaned at Birmingham. Scored a terrific goal in his debut, and he's got 3 goals already for them. He could play anywhere across the attacking front, so a winger, centre attacking mid, striker. So yeah, if he can carry on as he does, then he's made appearances for Fulham in the Premier League as well. He could be another one who could be next in line for that England call-up. And Fulham didn't really have many people. Tosinada Abayo was a shout, but given what's happened when him and Fulham over the summer, there's doubts if he'll play. Harrison Reed's probably a bit too old as well now. So yeah, Jay Stansfield for me. Liverpool, probably again not many, but it's going to have to go for Curtis Jones, part of that again under 21 squad that won the Euros. Plays for Liverpool, quite regular. Not recently, obviously that's that red card against Tottenham, but yeah, you like Jordan Henderson, even if he comes from Sunderland, he played for England for many years. I think Curtis Jones will be the same. So he gets a cap. I don't think there'll be many moving him from that England squad. Now we're back to the difficult ones for Luton. I have gone for Ryan Giles. I was tempted by Carlton Morris actually. Now I was very surprised that Carlton Morris has done quite well this year for Luton. 3 goals already. In that Premier League, I probably wouldn't have said he got more than 5, 7 at a push, but he's nearly halfway to that already, and still got 2/3 of the season left. But yeah, Ryan Giles, people rating quite highly when he was on loan at Middlesbrough last year. Probably unlucky not to be in the team of the year, but Ian Maatson did such a good job. Found it quite hard at Luton since the money they've spent on him. That was the most they paid for a player this year. And the transfer window, Luton, he's been bent on the bench for the last 3 games. But I tell you what, probably with Ian's England's left back problems at the moment, as we mentioned with Rico Henry, if Ryan Giles can come back after the international break, hopefully hit a consistent bit of form with a few decent performances. You never know with that international break. Southgate could want to test someone like that. But yeah, even if he drops back into the Championship, shows what he can do. He's had a bit of Premier League experience and comes back a bit stronger. Probably after all this Luton team, he'll be the one who will likely to get a cap. I can't imagine any more people. No disrespect to Luton players, but any Luton fans, if you do are watching, let me know who do you think probably would, unless Ryan Giles is your answer, who else do you think could earn an England cap, if any, for your team? Man City, you've got to go for Taylor Howard-Bellis. He's on loan at the moment, but there's very much, there was interest in him in the summer. There's quite a few teams wanted him. Gone loan to Southampton, and like James Trafford, he come from Man City, and he was the captain of that under-21s team. You don't see many people who captain England under-21s to then not go on and get a full cap. So, pretty simple. I do think that after his loan move at Southampton expires and he goes back to City, I don't think he's going to break through at City, but I do think he probably will move on and go to a different club. But if it's a Prem club and he can continue to perform for the under-21s like he does, he'll be on Gareth Southgate's radar already. So he does a bit of Prem football, he'll be in that squad. Man United, I've gone for probably the most left wing on the list, and that's Aaron Wan-Bissaka. I just feel like he's been excellent last probably 6 months, which is surprising considering obviously Man U struggles, but he was excellent. He looked like he was going to get the exit door, but then come in after Dallow's injury, and he consistently performed well. I do feel he's waiting for that England call up. People are saying like, I could go to represent Congo. If that was the case, he probably already would have declared his alliance for Congo. He would have said like, now I'm going to go play for them and be a superstar for them. He hasn't done that yet. I think maybe he's probably waiting to see what happens if Southgate does leave before the Euros or after, because obviously Gareth Southgate doesn't fancy Aaron Wan-Bissaka in that role. But in England, I've already got a load of out to see Matty Cash when he was pulling off for Villa to switch to Poland. But I do think he's just waiting to see if Southgate will leave, and then when someone else comes in, they might take a shine to him. But again, Man U has got too many players who have already got an England cap. I'm going to shout out Kobe Mainu, who was the youngster who was really doing well in pre-season for Man U, but then got injured. It could have had a big season for him, but again, he's another one to keep an eye on. For Newcastle, gone for Anthony Gordon. Pretty simple. Anthony Gordon was, next big thing at Everton, then went to Newcastle. Didn't look like it was going to work out, but he's really got his head down this year. Done really well. got a few goals, a few assists. So yeah, again, part of that under 21 squad. So probably would see him ahead of Harvey Barnes, who is, there's rumours that he's going to pick Scotland rather than England now. So yeah, Anthony Gordon. Was going to think of Elliot Anderson as well, but there's still no. He's still playing for Scotland at the minute, so we don't know if he's going to actually switch to England. So yeah, it's got to be Anthony Gordon. For Forest, it's got to be Morgan Gibbs-White. There was clamours from some Forest fans for him to be in the squad for the not last international break, the one before the end of last season. Obviously, as they got him before him, which you can't have any complaints. But yeah, he's ready made for England. Played in that under 21s tournament. Was one of the stars. Does well for Forest. There was shocks when he got benched the other week, but come back stronger. He's creative. I just think he just needs to add maybe a few more assists, a few more goals to his game. Then he'll be a terrific player. But yeah, regardless of what happens with Forest this season, if they go down or continue to consolidate now and mid-table finish, which you want to do, Morgan Gibbs-White will be playing for England in the next few years. I can guarantee that. Sheffield United, again, quite a few similar to Luton that I don't think would probably get that chance. But I've gone for Daniel Jebison, the striker. He kind of rose onto the scene a few years ago when he played for against Everton for Sheffield United. He scored. Was the youngest player to score on his first start in the Premier League. But yeah, again, there's not many people. Daniel Jefferson, though, he's been in and around that Sheffield United squad. If he get a good run of games, Sheffield United might need a goal. Can see him calling upon him. And if he continues just to be in and around that Premier League Championship level, and who knows, because of Declare for Canada as well. But yeah, again, slim pickings for Sheffield United. Spurs gone for Oliver Skipp. Again, not many people to pick from. Played in that under 21s tournament. If Postecoglou can do what he has done for some players, obviously I know it's a bit of a difference, like developing people in the SPL to the Premier League, but Oliver Skipp's probably stalled a little bit, but if he can fight his way through, or even get a move, again, Gareth Southgate will look and think, he likes a midfielder, so yeah, Oliver Skipp was again the only really one that come to mind. West Ham, probably one of the hardest ones on the list, but I had to go for Ben Johnson. Main reason was that under 21s again, but again, not many people that I would probably gone past that point for an England cap of being too old, already have an England cap, but yeah, could play centre half, could play right back, so yeah, again, Ben Johnson probably another one who might be an England player soon, given what he did in that tournament in the summer. And finally, at Wolves, it's got to be Max Kilman. If it was Portugal national team, probably would have had the pick. Not many for Wolves, though, who either will get an England call up. Craig Dawson, shout out to him, but probably missed his time due to his age. So yeah, Max Kilman, champions of Italy, wanted him over the summer. He obviously stayed at Wolves, his loyalty, they made him captain. So yeah, can see Max Kilman, he's a very no-nonsense centre half, very solid, been at Wolves for a few years. Regardless, if Wolves did go down this year, I can see him staying in the Premier League. So yeah, again, not many to go from, but we've seen, the likes of Gurhey, Dunk, who aren't in that top 6 bracket, play for England. So why can't Max Kilman be one of them, especially when, say, the champions of Italy do want you in a big club like Napoli? So he must be doing something right. But yeah, they are my picks for everyone to hopefully, who they would hope to get an England cap for England in the near future. Again, some of them are really hard, some of them are quite obvious, but let me know in the comments what you think. Did I miss any player? Is there any player that you think that I'm completely wrong on? Let me know what you think and who is going to be the England next stars. Of course, we've got that Euros in 2028. Will any of them players be part of that England squad or England first 11 that are going to hopefully kind of lead us to glory? I'm sick of singing It's Coming Home and it doesn't. But yeah, let me know what you think. As always, thanks for watching. Give us a like, give us a subscribe, and I will be back soon with another video.